Morning guys, Ben here, 100M Man. You're joining me this morning in June in a typical British day of overcast, cloud and rain. Beautiful. For those of you that shoot videos in glorious sunny climates, incredibly envious. As much as I like or enjoy being in this country, the weather at times can be testing. So yesterday I did a 10k. Today I'm doing a 10k run, my first run back since doing the Ironman. And yesterday I did my first gym session since February the 10th, and then an hour on the bike. Now, I want to talk this morning about feedback and embracing feedback, or embracing failure, depending on how you use that word, but primarily embracing feedback. Now, yesterday, first gym session, I was expecting a percentage of loss in strength. I was expecting fatigue, and I was expecting to ache today. All of my expectations were proven correct. My traps, my shoulders, my lats are hurting, my chest isn't too bad. Yeah, it's predominantly my traps, to be honest with you. And the reason I thought it was apparent to mention it, because I want to talk about, as I said, failure or feedback. Now, if you're not exercising something, and what I mean by exercising, I mean everything. If you're not exercising your mind, if you're not exercising your growth, if you're not exercising any kind of development in self, then there is going to be pain, there is going to be resistance, fatigue, a little bit of restriction associated with any kind of change. So my body this morning is demonstrating a really prime example of how a small amount of change, an introduction into something new or something that hasn't been working in a while, can bring about an element of shock to the body, an element of pain, a little bit of resistance. You know, there is a small amount of me that says this morning, and when I mean small, it's incredibly small, that says just go home, climb back into bed and rest. Now I know that is not truth. I know that that's not in alignment to where I'm going, so I'm taking the choice not to accept that. But it's breaking through that. It's breaking through that understanding and exercising those shifts and those changes, which bring about a completely different mindset. Speak about mindset a lot. I think it's important because I think that's the foundation, or that's one of the areas that people start to positively shift and improve in their life. For me, in my world, it's important to exercise everything. You know, exercise not in a physical sense, but in the mindful, spiritual, in any other aspects. You know, push the boundaries in an educated way. You know, this morning, for example, I wouldn't expect myself to go out and run a marathon. Despite being able to do it, I'm not sure how productive that would be to the following days or to the commitments that I've given. So exercising self, exercising all of the elements of your life that are key and important on a regular basis brings about less resistance, less pain in the long term. but also accepting that if we haven't exercised good quality whatever in a while, then you're going to experience something post-event, and just being accepting of that. Working with a group of people at the moment, and they're happy for me to talk about this. By the way, it's quite public who they are. And one of their struggles was communication. And the reason that was a struggle was because they haven't been exercising that for any kind of amount of time. And when they started to exercise the communication and open up that communication to each other at all levels, then what it allowed them to do was to improve, develop, get rid of all of those individuals that didn't really have a place within that group, within that community, who were incredibly resistant to change and actually held back the performance of the athletes that were involved. It can be quite common in teams to focus on one element, or see the issue as being the fitness, the management, facilities, the support, the infrastructure, the pay, the fans, whatever. Very easy to point fingers externally at things, but ultimately, if you unlock the communication and exercise the communication as a whole, what you find is those links start to build, and it becomes stronger, and then the support infrastructure, the foundations of the intention of everybody actually goes through the roof. It's unlocking and exercising the communication, which is effectively key. So drifted off a little bit there when I was saying about the feedback, accepting and embracing failure. But I guess it all actually comes back to that. It comes back to being able to take the external and reflect upon it without taking offence, without taking any kind of criticism as a reflection of self, and allowing the communication of the outside to come in. And the more you're open to that and work as a feedback mechanism in self, the more you can evolve, improve, develop, be happy. So that's only really my feedback for this morning, and it was just based on a article that I've just written regarding this team that's going out in the next week or so in national press. I think it's quite apparent just to really reflect on that for today. Embracing feedback, embracing failure as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to really allow the outside to become a reflection of what you're pushing out, what you're accepting. So that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe using the link below. I'll share the article that I've written in the resources area, so you can head over to the website, sign up there, and get access to that right now. Peace out, be safe.